All right, welcome to the fourth episode, or maybe third, depending on when this comes out and the third one gets edited by my girlfriend. Welcome to the third episode of the MarsTalks podcast. I am your host. uh, I'm your host, Jason Salisbury, as you know, for the past two or three um, episodes. I have an a longtime co-host back with me. Uh, say hello, co-host.
Hello.
Oh my God, you sound
What?
cool. You sound really weird.
Oh, okay. Well,
What did
hi.
you do? What did you do?
What do you mean? What did I do?
You did something weird. You
I must have just said it weird. I don't know.
okay? Well, can you set it differently so you don't sound so weird?
Okay, all right. Hello.
All right, you sound much better now. Anyway, if you couldn't tell who that is, it is. Say
Oh, Asia.
yes, it is Asia. She is back once again.
Round of
And
applause.
yeah. Woo, yeah.
Like you should
Anyway,
you should edit like round of applause and like, sound
maybe
effects.
maybe my girlfriend will do that. I don't feel like editing anything.
Tell her to do it.
Mm, I mean, she's listening to this probably some point, so yeah, she probably will. Maybe I don't know.
Hmm.
Um. Well, first, I'd like to before we get started with the rest of the podcast, I'd like to thank you guys for the near 10 subscribers that I have. I have what is it now? 9 subscribers. Let me check. Yes, 9 subscribers, which is I think impressive since I started less than a week ago.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna lie, I think two or three of those subscribers are myself, but uh, yeah, that's I think that's pretty impressive. And on our last video, we got 43 views, which is I think pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, thanks. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll become the next. I don't know what's a YouTuber that people like that's not like that does like talking and stuff. I don't know. Um,
All
I don't know. So I'll be a YouTuber instead of some dude with 9 subscribers.
right.
And actually, guys, believe it or not, I'm actually finally showing up when you search my name on YouTube. When we first started, you couldn't even search up my name and you could actually find me. But now, when you search me up, I am the top result when you filter out all the videos and you just look for channels. So, round of applause there. Thank you, thank you. Um, and thank you to all my co-hosts who, without you, I probably would have been unmotivated to do this a long time ago. So thank you.
Hmm.
So anyway, today on our first or not first, what was this? Either the third or fourth episode, depending on which one gets released first. Maybe I don't know. Um, we will be doing or we will be talking about dreams. The place we go when we fall asleep. Sometimes, or I guess all the time, but we just don't remember them very well. I don't know. It's weird. But Asia, you're not doing your job. You're supposed to be interjecting.
I just did. I just said mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
Oh, also a tip. As
Yeah.
a guest or a co-host, you always want to offer your co-host, do they want to go first?
For
And
what?
to be nice.
No, not. I'm not asking why. I'm asking for what.
Oh, like to go first with their stories or like whatever the
Oh yeah,
topic.
yeah. Didn't I do that?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll do it this time.
Okay.
I thought I could have swore I did it, but All right, so we're going to be talking about dreams, the place we go when we fall asleep. I know I could talk about a good hour about my dreams. Let's see what Asia has to say. If Asia would like to go first, this is a pretty unstructured podcast. It's just two people talking, you know, just
Yeah.
having a conversation. So let's see where this goes. So, Asia, what
Okay.
would you like to say?
I feel like there's like a lot of categories to the types of dreams that you have, so maybe we should like do them in like sections.
Categories?
Yeah, so like if the scariest dream you had, the best dream you had, and then like, and etc.
Okay. So, I guess the first thing we should say is just what is your relationship with dreaming? Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Is it indifferent to you? Is it something you look forward to? Do you sleep just to dream? Do you not sleep because you don't want to dream? What's your relationship with dreaming?
Um, I enjoy dreaming, I suppose. I mean, it's not something that I hate. I mean, sometimes it's not all the time that I look forward to dreaming, but like after you have a good dream and then you wake up and it kind of like cuts off, it's like, okay, well, now I want to go back to sleep so I can resume that dream.
Yeah, I get
But
that.
yeah, what about you?
Well, I guess I would say I have a very loving relationship with dreams, but sometimes my dreams hate me.
Hmm.
Um, I guess that's the way it's always been. Because, well, I guess like you said with the categories and stuff like that,
Hmm.
my dreams are almost always either incredibly bizarre or just unsettling, scary, and disturbing. It's usually one of those two.
No
Oh,
happy
yeah.
dreams?
I mean, I have happy dreams, but they're usually under the bizarre category. It's not
Okay.
like a dream where it's not strictly grounded in reality, but like it's just like it's believable that it could happen. No, all my dreams are completely unbelievable.
Hmm.
There's only one dream that I can remember right off the top of my head that I thought was actually reality. I was convinced it was reality for like a hot minute until my
Hmm.
mom said no, that's not what happened. So
I
yeah,
feel like I feel like that's also like a common thing where you have a dream. Sometimes you can get mixed up in the reality of it. Like you're kind of confused. You're not sure if something actually happened or if it was a dream, like those
yeah.
memories or something like that. Yeah, I have a few of those.
Like I know when I'm in reality, but I don't always know when I'm dreaming.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, maybe it's because of the media I consume, or maybe it's just the way my brain works. But yeah, that's usually dreams with me.
Have you ever lucid dreamt or dreamed, whatever, whichever sense?
I've been lucid while dreaming, but I've never lucid dreamed.
Mm,
Like, well, I've manifested, you know, the ability to control my dreams, but never to the full extent where I would say I was lucid dreaming.
hmm.
Like, there was this one time I had a dream where my cousin pushed
Hmm.
me off of a cliff,
Hmm.
and while I was falling, it was almost like some synapses in my brain just started working. I was like, I can fly. This is my dream. So I just flew up and pushed my cousin off the cliff instead.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever lucid dreamed before. I wouldn't consider it lucid dreaming. How about you?
No, I haven't before. I don't, yeah, no, I haven't. I've always wanted to though. Seems pretty cool. Although some people say like they've had really bad experiences
Experiences?
with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think lucid dreaming or dreaming in general can really open up a lot of repressed I wouldn't I, repressed emotions, repressed memories, or
True.
repressed intentions. I guess I would say. I
Hmm.
guess more primal intentions. Um, yeah. So I mean, you can really disturb yourself.
Uh,
So I mean, where I think we kind of got sidetracked a little bit, but we were trying to like stay on course.
Mhm.
Uh,
We'll start off with the categories.
yeah,
So,
let's start off with the categories. Let's hear you name your categories.
all right. Well, there's a bunch of them. I mean, should I just like say
Name
the
off as
category?
many as you want.
Should I say the category and then tell the story?
Um,
And
how
then
about
you,
you say how about you say the category and then just tell the stories that you want to tell?
okay,
Or how about we both name each other's? How about we both name the categories and then I'll let you start telling the stories you want to tell, and
okay,
then I'll tell the stories I want to tell.
all right. So
And we'll just go from there.
all right.
Continue.
So
Continue.
I've had obviously scary dreams. Um,
Yeah.
I've had dreams that felt really vivid, like I could feel what was going on, like,
You could
sensory stuff
taste,
like,
touch, smell,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that. Okay.
Um, I had dreams where I felt really happy, you know, it was really nice. Um, I've
Like
had
it's
really,
just a natural happiness.
well, no, it's more like of like,
Like
I don't,
you have context to your dream, but you're not fully aware of what the context is because you are dreaming.
no, it's like, it's a feeling that I don't know how to describe it. It's like a feeling that you get. But it's more than happiness. I don't
It's
know how to describe
well, I mean, I guess the closest thing I've had to that is like I'm happy in my dream
it.
because I don't necessarily have a reason to be happy because my dream wills me to be happy, I guess I would say.
It's more like the feeling like when, I don't know, it's like a warm feeling that kind of rushes over you. It's like a warm happiness, kind of
But
comforts
I'm
you.
not trying to I'm not trying to. I think we're on two different levels of what we're trying to explain. You're trying to explain what the feeling feels like, I think. I'm just trying to explain what that feeling is.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So you're
Yeah.
saying it's a warm feeling, right?
Hmm.
So is it like because something good happened, or is it simply because you are happy in that dream and there's no reason to be happy? Or is it because, you have context to the world you're in your dream and it makes you happy?
Yeah, I have contacts to the world that I'm in and whatever. You get it.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's the
I,
only like categories that I have. I don't have any other ones. I don't think I had sad dreams, really. Nothing that made me sad. Yeah, no.
okay.
What was
So
that?
I'm wearing a onesie right now I got for Christmas,
Okay.
and it's getting really hot because I'm pacing back and forth.
Why are
So,
you pacing? Take a seat.
because I always pace when I talk, unless I'm sitting,
Mm-hmm.
and the chair's made of leather, and I had been sitting anyway, or at least I think it's
Hmm.
leather or something like that. So it's going to get hot anyway, so I need to cool myself down.
Hmm.
Ugh.
So tell your categories.
So yeah, um, with my categories, I guess it's more complex than Asia's because I have many categories of dreams,
Hmm.
and I guess I would say subcategories too, maybe. So first we have the weird dream, the dream where everything is weird, but it just makes sense enough for me to be able to function in it.
Hmm.
And then we have the dream where I am not a part of it. I'm simply an observer of the dream. It's almost like I'm a narrator in a book.
Hmm.
Um, third dream. I mean, not third dream, but I guess the third type is the disturbing dream. The dream that disturbs me to the point where I am visibly, or not visibly, but mentally disturbed
Hmm.
after I wake up. And then I have happy dreams where I'm happy for whatever reason, whether it's because I have context and the context of the dream makes me happy or whatever. Then I have dreams that make me angry, you know? Dreams where I guess it's the same rules as the happy ones, but I just get angry instead. And then I don't think I've ever had any dreams that made me sad.
Hmm.
Um, I've had dreams that have made me upset, though, whether I
Hmm.
be angry or disturbed or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, let's see, I have weird dreams, blah, blah, blah. Disturbing dreams. I have a lot of disturbing dreams. Dreams
You said
where,
disturbing.
huh?
You said disturbing.
Well, no, I mean, did I?
Yeah,
All right, but I don't think I explained it.
you did explain.
So, okay, let me explain it again.
Oh my, okay.
So basically, in these dreams, I am just disturbed. I'm absolutely disgusted, disturbed, and or fearful. You
Hmm.
know, what disturbs somebody? I was gonna say something a bit more insightful, but you cut me off, and I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Thanks, Asia. Everybody just say thanks, Asia, in the comments. For like the two people that actually will comment.
Mhm.
Uh, um, So yeah, I mean, I think that's all the dreams that I have. Oh yeah, vivid dreams and then lucid dreams where I realize I'm dreaming. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say with the disturbing dreams or the scary dreams. A lot of the times where I am scared or something in my dreams, I can't wake myself up. Like there's points where I realize I'm dreaming, but I still can't wake myself up. And so it's kind of like watching a horror movie where you are inside of it and you can't take yourself out of it. So
Hmm.
it really sucks and you're terrified. And like I'll be like pinching myself, I'll be screaming, I'll be hurting myself, I'll be trying to do anything to get myself awake and it won't work. But then there's the times where I'm excited to be dreaming and I'm like, oh man, I'm dreaming. And then it's like, oh, you know what? You're getting a little too excited. Let's wake you up. So yeah.
Hmm.
And then there's the dreams where I just die. Where like I die, whether it's somebody shoots me or I accidentally kill myself. It's usually something like that.
Hmm.
But though, yeah, those are generally the types of dreams that I have. Um,
Okay, so we'll get into telling them.
yeah. All right. So, I mean, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Doesn't matter.
I think it does. I think you want to go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, go first.
Okay. So, um, I've had a lot of, well, no, I can't say I had a lot of scary dreams. Most of them
All
I've
right.
been
Wait.
very,
How about we structure this by
mm,
saying, what is the earliest dream you can remember?
you mean like my age?
Yes. As in, what's the earliest memory you have? What's the earliest dream you can remember?
I don't remember my dreams by my age really, so I don't know.
They all kind of just accumulate, and you don't know exactly when you had that dream.
Yeah, no.
Okay, forget it then. I'll just let you freestyle it.
Okay. Um, so I've never had really like any, well, yeah, I've had scary dreams, but not a lot of them I can remember. Um, I don't think I have any scary dreams to actually tell, except for the fact that um I definitely had one where I remember how I felt during the dream, but I don't remember the dream. So obviously I was terrified, but when you become aware that you're dreaming and you can wake yourself up if you want to. And so I was aware that I was dreaming and I didn't like what was going on and I was getting really scared, like scared to the point where my heart rate was racing and I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And so I was like, "Okay, it's time to wake up." And I woke up, stayed up for like 15 minutes because I didn't want to go back to sleep and have, resume the dream. And so that was the experience. It was horrible. I don't even know what was going on in the dream. All I know is that I didn't like it.
Okay. Any other dreams?
Oh yeah. Okay. Um, do I just go on by like category? Do I just carry on?
Sure. Sure.
All right. I know I didn't say I had weird dreams, but when you said weird dreams, now that I think of it, I did have weird dreams. Um, one of them was it was pretty recent too. It was about like a couple weeks ago. Sorry, it was a couple of weeks ago. And okay, so the dream may be a little bit choppy because I've never had like one continuous dream where it was like
Hmm.
consistent. Have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
Oh, I've never like experienced that. It's always like I don't know, it's like chopped up. It's like one section and then all of a sudden new characters appear and then it becomes different or whatever. But
Well,
anyway.
I guess I guess I could say my dreams are like that too. I mean, it's all moving naturally, but it's moving almost supernaturally, I guess I would say.
hmm And so sorry, I'm getting adjusted.
That's all right. That's all right.
And so this dream, okay, so it started off at this gas station that I have near my house. It's literally on
Okay.
East Road, and it's a gas station, and it has a Burger King attached. Except for the gas station was like set up different, so it was just the
Oh,
gas
the
station.
one with the one with the Burger King on it. You said that right?
Yeah,
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
and so um, it was we were in that gas station. It was set up differently though. I don't know how to explain it really, but in there you have like your rows of like you know, like the food aisles. Well, not really a food aisle, but you get what I'm trying to say, like a snack aisle or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, um, I was in there and I was looking. I don't even know what I was looking for, but all I remember is I had no money because I was looking around and it was like this cake section and they had cakes and I was looking at them and I was like, oh my gosh, they look so good. I want one. And I couldn't get one because I was broke. So I was just looking around the store and there was this other lady in the store and she was like in another aisle from me. And then all I remember is that all of a sudden I must have conquered some money or conjured some money up from somewhere because I remember I just started grabbing like a whole bunch of snacks, a whole bunch of drinks. And I went up to the cash register and I was talking to this dude and I must have known him because it seemed like a friendship. Well, not a friendship, but a mutual relationship or whatever.
Understanding.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so he was ringing my stuff up, and I was like, I think I want some water. I think I want something, that will quench my thirst. And he was like, yeah, because pop won't really do it. I was like, yeah. So I was about to go, and he was like, I'm about to go stock up some things in the back, and I was like, all right, cool. And so I go back to go get me like a casual drink, and the
A
lady
casual drink.
and the lady was still in her aisle or whatever looking, and then all of a sudden this white fat man appeared. This is context. Well, not really, but it's just weird how he just I don't know. Anyway,
Appeared.
yeah, and so
Like you'd
he
think you'd notice.
huh?
Like I said, you'd think you'd notice.
Yeah. And so he had a whip in his hand and and
Okay.
and I noticed him. He was getting real suspicious. Like he was walking everywhere and he started chasing the lady in like the aisle and she ran over to me and he started chasing both of us with the whip and I was so frightened like I was so scared and so we're literally running from this man in the gas station and then we kind of had a breakthrough like we had a path that we could run out the door and
Uh
so
huh.
we ran out the door and all of a sudden this lady disappeared it was so weird I don't even
It was
know.
like a transition.
Yeah. but the man was still chasing me. And so all of a
Okay.
sudden, the lady disappeared, and my friend appeared next to me, and she was running with me. And we were running from this man, and I keep looking back, and you would expect a fat man to not be able to catch up with you. But this man was like a track star runner. He was fast. And so I kept looking back, and I'm like trying to make sure he doesn't like, get me. And he's literally on my tail, like he's about to get me. And so I keep running, and then all of a sudden these little kids appear and they're running with me, and then the old man disappears, and I'm on this like grass section because like from the gas station to my house, it's not a far walk. So sometimes,
Yeah.
like in summer, we could walk to the gas station. So we were like on this area of grass to walk back to our house or whatever. But it was
Hmm.
a long side road or whatever. However, I don't know. But so we're walking, and there was about like three kids with us or whatever. And so somehow I was still scared that this man was gonna come back and like get me. And so we're still running. And so there was this gray car. I don't even know what type of car it was. Well, I do know what type of car it was, but I don't know the name of it. But I think it was almost like a Volkswagen, something like that.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. But so I seen this black Volkswagen like on the side of the road, and it had like some people in it. So I ran to the car and I'm knocking on the window and I'm like, "Help! Help me! Help us! Help us!" And the lady's not even paying attention to me. Like she's ignoring me. And so she she just stares straight out the window, ignoring me. And I'm like, "Help us! You gotta help us!" And then she just drives off. I'm like, "Okay, great." So we run across the street away from the gas station or whatever. And three kids turned into one kid, and then it was just me, this little girl, and I don't know who the lady was, but it was a lady. About like, she seemed like she was like 20 or 30, one of those. And so we're walking, and out of nowhere, this black, big, bulky car drives in front of us, and like to the path that we're walking on, they have woods next to them, or they used to have woods next to them before they cut them down. And so
Okay.
we're walking and this car skirts in front of us through the woods, and we're like startled, so we're
Wait,
taking
wait, wait. Is the man still chasing you?
no.
Okay.
And so we're taken aback by it. The man disappeared. I don't know, you know, it's like a transition, whatever.
Yeah.
And so the car skirts in front of me into the woods, and I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, so we keep walking, and then I don't even know what we were talking about. Oh no, I remember. Okay, so the little girl, we were talking about something, and the little girl couldn't remember her name or something like that. And so me and the lady were looking at each other, and we were like, "How do you not know your name? How old are you?" And she was like, "I don't know, I don't know." And we were like, "Do you know what year it is?" And then she was like, "No." And I was like, "It's 2050." And I don't know why, but like
It's 2050.
it was so weird. And so we're walking, and the way my complex is set up, it's I
Like a
don't
cul-de-sac.
huh?
It's like a cul-de-sac where there's only one exit.
Yeah. And so we're walking over there, and the entire complex is draped in sand, but it was like an ashy sand, like a volcanic ashy
Like
sand.
dust almost.
Yeah. And so we're walking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so stunned by it because it was like almost like an apocalyptic type scene.
Event. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm walking in there, and the lady all of a sudden was like, she starts whispering. She's like, "We have to be quiet. You have to be quiet." And we're tiptoeing. And then all of a sudden, a dude appears, and he's walking with us. This dude was like, I don't know, he was like a teenager, about around our age. And they start
All right.
arguing. She's like, "Stop telling me to be quiet. Stop telling me to be quiet." And she was like, "Shh, you have to be quiet." And they started arguing, and I'm sitting here in the back, like, all the ruckus they're making is gonna attract whatever we're trying to hide from. And so We just keep on walking, and then like there was nobody in there was nobody in the
In the
compound.
subdivision? In the
Yeah,
con?
it was just completely deserted. And so
Barren.
yeah, and so we're walking. We get to my house. We get in there, except for it's not my house. It was weird. Everything in this dream was weird. And so we get in the house, and I'm guessing we were hiding from zombies because I mean I never actually saw them, but by the way the lady was acting, we must have been hiding from zombies. We couldn't turn the TV up too loud, so we had to keep it down. And we closed all the blinds and stuff like that. And then she went to the bathroom or whatever. And then I remember going to the back of the room because I was about to go to sleep. And I seen like this window. There was windows in the room or whatever. I look out the window because I heard some people walking. And I was like, there's no way there's people in here. Look out the window. There's like this another teenage boy, his mom, and another girl. And I'm like, I'm stunned by it. I'm shocked. And so I run back to my who I presumed to be my mom, but she wasn't really my mom.
Yeah.
And so I knock on the door. I'm like, Mom, there's somebody outside. There's somebody outside. And she was like, What? Really? There's people outside? I was like, Yeah. And so everybody runs to the window, and they looked like they needed help. And out of nowhere, these zombies come out of nowhere and they start chasing them. So I open the window, and then I'm like, guys, come over here. And then they climb up the window into the house, and then I close it shut. Zombies disappear. It was crazy. And then, yeah, I think that was about it. There's nothing else to remember about that dream. It was all pretty weird.
All right. Um,
I'll let you
I,
tell your experience before I go on.
what'd you say?
I'll let you tell your side of your dream before I go on.
Okay, why are you like pausing super weird?
Pausing.
Yeah, you're like, I'll tell you my part of the dream. All
I don't know.
right, so I guess I can tell a recent dream that I remember. I actually just went upstairs to my room to get my dream journal because I have a dream journal where I write down the dreams that I want to remember.
That's
And I've had
weird.
it.
Like Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Well, I mean, it's not like filled with drawings or anything like that. It's just me trying to recount my dream.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell the dream I most remember.
Hmm.
So my dream was kind of weird, and I guess it was inflicted by the show or influenced by the show Tiger King, and I'll explain why in a second.
Did you finish Tiger King?
I never finished Tiger King.
You
I'm
need to.
on episode 3 right now.
Okay.
So basically, uh, I was I was I don't know where I was. I couldn't tell you, but
Mhm.
for some reason the what would you call it? It's like a school government, well, school governing body. It's a and you have like a superintendent and all that. What's it called?
Student Council.
Oh no, the district.
Mm.
Oh yeah, school district. So the school district decided that due to coronavirus and us not being able to go to school and stuff like that,
Hmm.
that we would just start school over again next year. We would just start the grade over again.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that's crazy. We're like 3/4 of the way through the school year. You can't just start over. And they're like, yeah, we can. And it should be easier for you the second time around anyway, right? And I was like, well, that's a year. That's like a whole year wasted for people. You're like, that's not fair. And they're like, oh, well, tough. You don't have to go to school. You're over 16 now. So, and I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So, I guess there was a time skip because I went to school like the next day.
Hmm.
And for some reason, I was in I was either in Mr. Mackey's class or I was in Mr. He's a social studies, world history teacher. He's not Melosier. He's the not crazy one. I forgot his name. I don't know how I forgot his name. Um,
What you're talking about?
huh?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay. But basically, I was in this class, except for some reason they completely remodeled the school, and instead of like classrooms, we would just have like we would have like a really long conference room with like a really long table, that you'd have you would expect that at like a corporate conference or whatever.
Hmm.
And so we just sat there and we're like, yeah, I don't want to be here, neither do you guys. So you guys can just chill here for like the hour that we're here. And I was like, okay, sweet. I'll just chill on my phone then. And so I got through all my hours of school and I got home. And for some reason, I had to walk home. Like they decided we just weren't going to have transportation. My parents refused to pick me up. So they were like, okay, just walk home. And I'm like, that's like a 2 hour walk. And they're like, yeah, 2 hours of walking is good for you. And I was like, every day? Like I could be doing things. We have cars. And they just they didn't really care. So I walked home and my dad is like, oh yeah, by the way, I enlisted you and I in the volunteer fire department.
Okay.
And I'm like, you can't just do that. You can't just you can't just enlist somebody else in a volunteer fire department without their permission.
Hmm.
And he's like, well, I did it, so get your helmet. And 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 so it was like, yeah, we have a fire, and they're calling literally all of the fire, and they're literally calling every fire, you know, man and fire women they can think of, they can come up, they can call essentially. And so we are now on Belleville Road, um, near my subdivision, and it's just there's a single fire truck, and it's just blaring. And the stream was really long now I think about it. I'm not even like a quarter of the way through, but yeah, and it was just blaring. It was just blaring, and it was blaring. And they get into the fire truck, and they're like, "There's a fire down the road. Go, get the fire down the road." And I'm like, "Why don't we just drive the fire truck closer? We can do that, can't we?" And they're like, "It doesn't matter. Right now, we just have to get down the road." And I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever. I'm just gonna get through the day, and I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna go to sleep." And so I have on my, for some reason, the standard clothing for all firemen and women was a white T-shirt or an undershirt or whatever, black pants. It didn't matter what kind of pants they were, as long as they were black in pants, and a fire helmet. No coat, no nothing, no gloves, no nothing.
No fire
And
protection.
yeah, and so they made us. It was like a group of boys that were all my age, and grab a we had to grab the fire hose and attach it to the fire hydrant and all that. Except we didn't let the water loose yet for some reason. So, you know, we're just running like down Belleville Road for like a good 15 minutes, and then we come onto the next fire hydrant, which I'm pretty sure is a fire violation, like a safety violation to have 15 minutes of fire hydrants between each other. I'm pretty sure that's a violation, but I don't know.
It's,
Um, so, I'm going down I'm just, I guess, running slash jogging. I'm doing a jog run where it's like a fast jog, but I'm not like trying to sprint or anything. And we're
mhm.
all just like holding the fire hose, and we attach it to the next fire hydrant, which is kind of confusing because why would you need two fire hydrants for a fire hose? I
Right.
mean, I guess I could understand why, but
Wait,
like,
were you putting out two fires, or like was it just
no, no, from what I understood, it was a single fire.
you know?
So this is a really long hose too.
Mhm.
And so we attach it to the next fire hydrant, and one boy stays behind, and we just keep going. And so this
Mhm.
went on for a good 2 hours of me just jog sprinting for some reason, which I can't do in real life. Uh, and carrying this, like, I wouldn't say it was like 100 pounds, but it would put a burden on your. I had to, like, it was a burden on my shoulder the way I was carrying it.
Mhm.
But and eventually I was like the last one I was the last one left, so I had to carry it all by myself, and it was like really heavy.
Mhm.
And then and then like I get to like where they said the fire was, and there's no fire.
Mhm.
And it's like nighttime. It's like pitch black outside. Well, it would be pitch black if there weren't lights. And then
Mhm.
my dad is in like the fire gear too, and he's like, "Well, good job, son, job." And I'm like, "Why did I do this? I thought there was a fire." And he's like, "No, there was no fire. We just told you there was." And I'm like, "You're supposed to tell somebody when it's a drill." And they're like, "Well, that's the new procedure." And I'm like, how why are you telling me this? Didn't you just sign up with me? I mean, shouldn't you be the one running with me? He's like, no, no, I'm an adult. I get to do adult things. And I'm like, I'm like, that's not, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And
Yeah.
so he has his car with him, and he's like, I want you to walk home and just think about all that you've done today. I'm like, Dad, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm really tired. I had a long day. Can I please just go home with you?
You have to beg him to get in the car.
Like, please. And he's like, no, I'm not letting you in the car. And he just drives off. And so I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere, have to find my way home. And keep in mind, I had to jog sprint the way here for 2 hours. So imagine me walking back. It's going to take me like a good day, 8 hours. I don't know.
Wait,
It's going to be
what
morning
route?
time by the time I get back.
I thought you were in
I don't even,
Belleville.
it was Belleville Road, except it was like a really long Belleville Road.
Oh,
Like it went places that Belleville Road doesn't go. It went to places that Belleville Road that doesn't exist. So I'm just walking back. It is pitch black at night, and for some reason, I get to this point where it's like, you know how there's like the forest near Belleville Road where there's a bunch of trees and stuff.
mhm.
So near that area, for some reason, there was an elevator off on the sidewalk, and it wasn't an elevator, it was an escalator, and there's like a second floor of the city for some reason. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try the escalator. You know, I've never been on it. Let's just see what's up here. I
Like a
I
second,
go up there. It was like a second what?
a second floor city, like a city in the sky.
Yeah, like for all the Star Wars people out there, like Coruscant. You know, you wouldn't get that. You don't watch Star Wars, but like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so basically, I'm on the second floor, and it's still dark outside, but there's like some street lights and stuff like that, and it's like nobody's out. You know, even though it's nighttime, Belleville's not like a rural town. I mean, it's not huge, but it's like it's a it's a suburban town. So you'd think you'd see a car drive by or something, or there'd be like stores open or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
no. So I found one store and I used the bathroom in it because I was like, I had to pee, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so I come out and there's like this bench and there's a street light right next to the bench. And on that bench is a tiger. It's not a full grown tiger. because I'm pretty sure I would have died if it was a full-grown tiger. But it was a tiger,
A baby tiger?
like an adolescent tiger.
Okay.
Like it's still a threat to me in my life, but it's not as dangerous as a full-grown, 1,000-pound tiger, 500-pound tiger. I don't know.
Right.
So it's just sitting on the bench and it's staring right at me, and I'm just like, oh my god, can I please just go home? And so the tiger is just staring at me. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna walk past the tiger. I don't care. If I get mauled, I get mauled. I just want to go home. I'm just gonna let the tiger mind its own business, and I'm gonna mind my own business. But the tiger was not having any of that. And as soon as I start to walk by it, it immediately mauls me, or at least tries to. And so I'm like punching it in the face. I like try to gouge its eye or something. I don't know. I was just trying to get it off of me. And then like bit like deep, and I felt it. Like it really hurt. It bit deep into my shoulder. Like not my forearm, but like my upper arm. Like
Hmm.
it bit deep into like the muscle of my shoulder, and it like really hurt. And like I kicked it off, and the tiger just like scampered off somewhere. It just kind of disappeared. And so I am in pain, and I have my phone with me, and I call the police, and I'm like, "Hello." I call 911. I'm like, "Hey, I just got attacked by a tiger. Is somebody out here right now? I'm in pain. I'm injured." And they're
Okay.
like, "Oh, you need to call the fire department for that one." And I'm like, "I am the fire department. I am the fire department. Can you please just get somebody out here?" And so they bring this lady out here. She's like, it's like this 20-year-old Arab lady. She was like really short. Well, she wasn't really short, but she was shorter than me to the point where I had to look kind of down on her. And she was like, "Oh, so where's the tiger?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm injured. I need to get home. Can you just do something, please?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I can walk home with you." I'm like, "How did you get here? Can I just take the car?" Why isn't anybody letting me take the car? And so they're like, "Nah, it's for firemen only." I'm like, "I am a fireman." He's like, "Well, I'm not letting you in the car." And so she parked the car, took the keys out, and began to walk home with me. And so I'm now walking home, bloody and injured, with a deep wound in my shoulder, in pain. And then she gets a call over her radio walkie talkie or whatever it was. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, the tiger, it's in your house." I'm like, "Oh my God, why?" I'm like, "How did it get in my house?"
It came back for revenge.
And and so you're like, yeah. And so fast forward me walking home, which took forever. I get home and she's like, "Oh yeah, the tiger will only reveal itself to the one who it attacked last." And I'm like, why? Why can't you just like search the house for the tiger? My house isn't that big. There's only so many rooms. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to spot the tiger pretty quickly. And she's like, "No, sorry, you got to come with me." And they're like, we've triangulated the location of the tiger to the basement." And I'm like, "It's in the basement. There's only one entrance and one exit into the basement. The basement is only so big. So why don't you just go into the basement and do what you got to do?"
Hmm.
It's like, "No, you got to come down there with me." I'm like, please, just, it's this is ridiculous. So I go downstairs, and they're like, "All right, you got to call for the tiger now." I'm like, "How do I call for a tiger?" It's like, "Just scream tiger. Call for the tiger like you would call a person." And so she's like, "Oh, I'll help you." And they're like, "Tiger." And I'm like, "Tiger, tiger." And the tiger reveals itself, except it's not a tiger anymore. It's a lion. And I
Oh,
am terrified because it's me and a tiny lady against a lion. We're gonna die, right? So I'm hiding like behind a couch in my basement, and I'm like, okay. And I finally like this yoga ball, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw the yoga ball against the wall. The tiger, or the lion, is going to be distracted by it, and me and you are gonna run up the stairs and lock the door, and then we can wait for backup. And she's like, nah, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm like, but you're gonna die. She's like, I can handle it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do to survive. You can go ahead and die if you want to do that. And so I throw the ball or throw the yoga ball against the wall. It bounces off the wall. The tiger looks, and I immediately sprint up the stairs and close the door. And I, I close the door, and guess who's in my house? A person I've known for a long time by the name of Jesse.
The one with the glasses?
You know, yes, that Jesse. And he's like, why are you? And I'm like, why are you in my house? And I'm like, I heard there was a lion in your house. And I'm like, yeah, there is. How would you get into my house? Go away. There's a lion. Unless you're gonna call for help. And he's like, let me see the lion. And I'm like, no. And so I'm like, my hand is on the doorknob, and it's like closed, and I lock the door. And he's like, open the door. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And then he like starts like, I guess, struggling to open the door while my hand is on it. And I'm like, I just had enough. I've had too much today. So I pretty much bare hand strangle him and push him to the ground. And I'm like, stop. Just stop. I'm trying to stay alive. And he's like, fine. And he just walks off somewhere. I don't know where. And so I hear the lady, and she's still talking she's talking to the lion right now. And then she's like, oh, yeah, you can come down now. You can come down. And I open the door, and the lady's still alive. And she's like, oh, yeah, the tiger's pretty chill. He made me some pancakes. I'm like, how does, not tiger, lion. He made me some pancakes. I'm like, I'm just confused. I just accept whatever at this point. I'm just like, okay, I'm not coming down there. The tiger made you pancakes. The lion made you pancakes. That's cool. I'm tired. Can I just go to sleep? And my dad's all of a sudden, he's there. He's like, sure, you can go to sleep. And it's daytime again by the time I finally get to go to sleep. So I've been up for a good 24 hours, bleeding and in pain, after sprint jogging for 2 hours, then having to walk back, getting attacked by a lion or tiger, whatever it was, having to fight somebody, having to, do all that. And I finally get to go to sleep. And I go to sleep, and the dream ends. It wasn't a fun dream.
No.
It was pretty wild.
Sounds pretty wild to me.
Yeah, it was. Like, even thinking about that dream is just exhausting for me. That dream was just too much.
Mm.
So,
Is it my turn?
I guess. Yeah, it's your turn.
All right. The next category is, I'll say my happy dreams. Because I said scary, happy, and weird. Yeah. I also had, wait, yeah. I've also had some, not, I said vivid dreams. Okay. So these are pretty short, so I'm going to do vivid and happy. So I'll start with vivid. So The most vivid dream I had was I've had this dream twice in a row. Scared I'm gonna get it a third time in a row. But it was a while back, 2019. I don't remember when, like the time of the month, but I remember I had this dream. And so, um, I was in my kitchen, and it was me and my friend Olivia, and it was around nighttime. I had my, my lights on, and out of nowhere, this dude comes in all black. He's a robber, and he comes in, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you guys. I'm gonna kill you." And I was like, you're not gonna kill me. I'm gonna kill myself. And so I run over to the knives, to my knife block that holds my knives. I grab a knife and I cut my throat. And then I hold my throat because, like, I felt it. Like, I literally felt it, like, as in, like, real life. And it felt real. It didn't hurt, but it felt weird. It definitely felt weird. And so I dropped the knife and I'm holding my throat. The, Olivia and the robber disappears, and I run over to my mirror, and it suddenly becomes day. Excuse me. And I used to have these mirrors in my living room, like up against my wall. And so I ran over to one of the mirrors, and I'm holding my throat, and there's no blood. So I move my hands away from my throat, and I'm looking in the mirror, and my throat's open, like it's cut open, like I can see it, my flesh and everything. And I cringed so bad. And then that was the end of that dream. And then the next dream, I had the same dream the next day, except for this time I was coming from upstairs. This is exactly how it started, or at least how I remember it starting. I came from upstairs, I was coming downstairs, but it was more from um a third person view. It wasn't like it was me myself. It was like I was watching myself. And
Hmm.
so I watched myself come downstairs, go in the kitchen, grab a knife, go to the mirror, in front of the mirror, cut my throat, drop the knife, and like, hold my throat because I was like scared again. And a little bit of blood came out. I remember the shirt I was wearing, it was like a white shirt, and a little bit of blood came out. And then I took off my shirt and like held it at my throat for a second, and then I took it off and I looked in the mirror at it. That was it. That was the end of the dream. And then of course, I woke up. I woke. I Yeah, I woke up because that was pretty awful. Um, those were my vivid dreams, the happy dreams. Um, these dreams are more like lover happy dreams. Like I had lovers in these dreams and I was happy because of it. And so this dream was it was something. This dream, so first dream I had like this, um, I don't even know where to start really. Okay, so I was dating this guy and I don't know what his face looked like, although like they say, scientists say that people in your dreams, you've seen them before, although I've never seen this person in my life before. So um I didn't really recognize his face. I didn't even get to see his face. But this is my lover, so this is my boyfriend, and we're going on a date or whatever, and it was on this like I don't even know, like this dock over like this vast area of water, almost like an ocean, and there was like a dock leading out to it. And we were on the ocean, sitting on the dock or whatever, had our feet in the water or whatever. And I'm like leaning up against him. I have my head on his shoulder, and he's like texting this one girl, and like he's like, sending like text to her as if he's her lover. And so somehow I was okay with it. Like we must have had this love triangle thing because it was so weird. Like I was just like, okay. And then he sat the phone down, gave me a little peck on the forehead. My heart melted. I was stunned by that
Can
dream.
you? Oh my goodness.
What?
All right. Oh, okay, we're back. We're back. Right? Are we back?
Yeah?
Okay. Uh, continue your dream.
What happened?
I don't know. I think it was just like a bad connection for a second, or I don't know.
Okay. And so, sorry, I'm eating a sandwich, but so
Okay.
he gave me a peck on the forehead, and I was like, oh my gosh! And my when I tell you, my heart melted. I felt it in real life too. I felt this warm rush of I don't know how to
It felt
describe it.
good. You just felt good.
Right. And then I woke up and I was like, oh no. I remember what he was wearing too. He was wearing like this weird jean jacket and it had like a picture on the back of it. And his hair was black. He was white. His hair was black and it was kind of like oily, greasy, but it looked kind of wet and it was kind of long. But anyway, I woke up and I was like, oh no, because of course I wanted to go back to sleep because that was a good dream. Like I was having fun. It felt nice.
Hmm.
I couldn't go back to I couldn't go back to sleep to resume that dream. But the next one happened um I don't well yeah, it was this year, a couple months ago. Um I was with this boy and I was studying and it was so weird. I don't even know much of the dream. All I remember is that we were in his bed and we were studying, quote unquote studying whatever we were doing. But there's papers on the bed, so I don't know. And so he was like laying vertically, so like we were facing each other. That's
Laying vertically?
like
You mean
like down, like straight, you know,
you mean
laying towards
horizontally?
the bed.
You mean he was laying on the bed like a person?
I mean, some people sleep horizontally.
Everybody sleeps horizontally.
No, like
You know, like the difference between vertical and horizontal, right?
yes, the way the bed is faced. Okay, so a bed is vertical, right?
It's
From your head
horizontal.
from your headboard to your, the end of your bed.
What do you talk? No, look. Maybe you forgot what a bed looks like and what
Oh no,
horizontal and vertical is.
no,
But like,
listen, stop. I'm not talking about from the standpoint from where you're about to get in your bed. I'm talking about picture you're on picture you're literally at the end of your bed staring at
am
the
I laying
headboard.
down or standing?
You're standing up at the end of your bed and you're looking at the headboard. Is that
Okay.
vertical or is that horizontal?
The bed itself is horizontal. The
I'm not
headboard is vertical.
thank you.
Or
Thank you. What I'm trying to explain. He was lying down, head head at the headboard, feet at the end
so
of the
he
bed.
was like sitting. He was sitting.
Practically, but you could okay, whatever. So that's all I really remember of that dream. We were in like an attic. It was so weird. And he had on these like khakis, these brown tan khakis, and this polo white blue shirt. He was white and he had like dirty blonde hair. He was kind of chubby, but yeah. And then the last dream I had just a couple days ago. I told you about this dream, but um, it was so weird. This part, I don't want to tell the full dream. I'm just gonna tell the part with the lover part. We were.
Okay.
It looked like we were in France by the way the buildings were, and
Okay.
by the way the area was set up. And so there was like this hill, and down the hill, mind you, it's winter, so there's this hill, and down the hill you go. There's the ocean, and it was all frozen, like frozen, and then it had ice caps. So like it was covered in snow. And so we're sitting here and he's sitting upright and then I decide to lay down on the icy floor. I don't know why. I lay down on the icy floor. I put my head in his lap. I at first It was a girl, but then it turned into a boy. Not even sure why, but put my head in his lap, and then he started like adjusting his legs, and then I got that same feeling again. I got that warm feeling. I felt good. And then we got up because it got started to get cold. So
Of course.
right. So he was like, "We should do this more often. We should hang out." And I was like, "Okay." And I know exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing, I don't know if you know, but I have like these platforms, and I was wearing those, and then I had on like this really heavy beige sweater, and over the sweater was a was my black tee. Had that over that, and then he had on like this trench coat. He had on these weird business shoes. I don't even know how to describe it, but my boy was dripping. But yeah, that's the end of the dream, really, or at least the end of the lover dream part.
Okay.
Your turn.
Um. So what were the categories again that we were going over?
Vivid and happy.
All right. I don't really have any dreams that are vivid, but I do have a happy dream, and in fact, I have it in this dream journal that's
Mhm.
right in front of me. So, I mean, shouldn't be too far into it. Um, let's see. Um, um, yeah, okay. Let me. So basically, I'm gonna kind of read it and narrate at least the points that matter.
Mhm.
So basically, in this dream, I am. I just took the bus home, and this dude that I know named Alex, um, and some other people, uh, are just they're are bullying each other for some reason, and I don't really pay them any attention. I kind of just get off the bus and leave,
Mhm.
and basically, I come home, and everything just seems really beautiful. Like it's definitely my house, but everything just has this lens of beauty over it, and it's like I wouldn't say it's heartwarming, but it's provoking, it's thought provoking, or it provokes and evokes emotion,
Mhm.
a positive emotion. So I am, but everything I guess the way I put it in the dream journal was everything was frozen or stiff, but it was beautiful. And my mom, for some reason, is not my actual mom, but it's my mom, and she's white for some reason and has blonde hair and blue eyes, which I thought was kind of weird because that's the exact opposite of me. But she wants me to take a test, and apparently, I mean, if you've seen Avatar or anything like that, you know, there's water benders, earth benders, fire benders, and air benders.
Mhm.
They want me to. She wants me to take a test, and I take the test. And it turns out that I am a water bender, and she wants me to recreate 5 thin pieces of ice on on each of my fingers through my water bending ability, and insert them into a hand shaped key slot somewhere. I didn't write down where. And so I create these very unique and beautiful looking, I wouldn't like keys, I guess, almost on my fingers. And I put them into the slot. And for some reason, my eyes begin to glow bright blue. And she takes me outside. We just like begin to dance, and it wasn't like we were like break dancing or anything like that. It was this very, I wouldn't even say formal, but very elegant dance. And she explains to me that we were a family of performers because apparently she knew I didn't remember or I didn't know what was going on, but apparently we were a family of performers, and apparently I would create these ice sculptures that were really, really beautiful and entrancing out of a large pool while my mom danced around them, which, I mean, when you visualize it, it's kind of weird, maybe. I don't know. But we were sponsored and managed by this father figure that I had in my dream named Mr. Charles. And apparently, my real dad or father had died before I was born. And what and us performing, the ice sculptures and the dancing, all that. That was his dream of what he wanted us to do. And so we had the opportunity to dance and perform with this really great pianist. And apparently, the pianist was really, really greedy, and he took all of our money somehow.
A pianist?
Pianist. It's called a pianist.
A pianist sounds like you're saying
Penis? I know, but it's pianist.
it's pianist.
It's pianist.
It's pianist.
Okay, whatever. It's pianist, by the way. So
You can Google it and have the voice say it for you.
okay, well, you know what? After I tell my dream, we can do that, and I'm pretty sure it'll say pianist
Okay.
because everybody I've heard says pianist, and you just think you're being smart and saying pianist when that's not the case.
To be
So
honest,
anyway,
I didn't even know what you were talking about by the way you pronounced it until I figured you were saying pianist.
no, it was pianist. So anyway, he took all of our money, but we already had like a bunch of money. We already had built up a fortune over many, many years. And so later, I was at, the high school that I was at for some reason, and Mr. Charles gives me a liquid, and I drink it for some reason. And I get into this helicopter with him, and we just floated off. Like in Charlie and the Chocolate, or not Charlie and the yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We just, I've never seen the end of that movie. We kind of just floated off, and that was the end of the dream. And apparently, I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, it was a very nice dream.
Google pianist.
I'm doing that right now. I'm turning on my computer and all of that.
Mhm.
I'm turning up the volume all the way, so maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. I'm putting in my password to my account, and I am putting in pianist. All right. Um, definition. Okay.
Pianist.
Ha! Ha! Oh yes, I was right and you were wrong. Did you hear that? Did you hear it said pianist?
I heard it.
Yeah. Guess who was right?
I suppose you.
Yeah. Saying pianist. It's pianist.
Hmm.
But yeah. I guess I'll go again just to spice things up, and I'll tell you about my most disturbing dream and my most horrific dream. I think I've told you about my most horrific dream though, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I did. But basically, I I almost I'm gonna try to fill in the gaps of what makes sense in my dream. But
Hmm.
basically, I'm near the ocean. It was definitely the West Coast ocean and not East Coast or South. And I'm at the beach, and I see this like glass cube, and it has an opening in it. And so I get inside for some reason. I guess I feel compelled to. And I get inside, and all of a sudden, the world just goes really, really bad. Like the city behind me, just like the sirens that make all that kind of make your heart pump, if you get what I'm saying, and you're like freaked out for a second until you're able to calm yourself down. You hear those sirens, and it's almost like it's like it's like a it's like a nuclear scare or nuclear sort of siren that's going on, like trying to let everybody know that a nuclear blast is about to go off in the vicinity. And so I'm in this glass box, and the glass box closes, and the city behind me just blows up. It just kaboom. So it's a very horrific explosion. It's not like a ha ha kaboom sort of thing. It's a very horrific thing to see. And I get washed out to sea. And I don't, apparently, some time must have happened because I couldn't see land. And so I'm in the sea in this glass box, just bobbing up and down, floating on the ocean. And the sky is this very sickly yellow. And the ocean is a very sickly yellow as well. Except the two different colors of sickly yellow, I guess I would say. I guess the sky was more of an orangish yellow that was sickly, and the sea was just like a really sickly yellow. But I'm just bobbing up and down, and I can just tell the world is ending. Something horrific or apocalyptic must have just happened. And I wasn't fortunate enough to just die. And so I'm in this glass box, and I see this whale. This whale it's decomposing while it's alive. So I hear it struggle, and I hear it, cry out in its whale song in pain, as it's like I can see like its rib cage as it struggles to swim by. And you can just see just the tissues and the flesh just slowly being just decomposing and floating off of it and dissolving in the water. And it was just so sickening to see, and just horrific. Like I woke up, and it really, really messed me up. I don't remember much of that happened after that, but there was like lots of just dead fish and dead things, and it was awful. And as far as I could tell, I was one of the few things living,
Hmm.
or at least still alive. I wouldn't say living. Um, and so for my most disturbing dream, this may sound a little weird, but I guess maybe it wasn't the context, but it was simply because my dream willed it to be disturbing. It was disturbing, but it was almost like a movie because I wasn't there. I was just like a narrator. I was this omniscient, omnipresent, what would you call it? Just watcher of things, I guess I would say.
Hmm.
And so it goes to this England countryside manor, and it shows this maid or woman or gardener or whatever. She was in a maid outfit, like the classical cartoon maid outfit, and she is just tending to the flowers in the garden. And there's this dude, and he's not like particularly imposing physically or anything like that. He's just wearing like a suit jacket, and he has white gloves on and a white shirt and black suit pants and some brown shoes. And he has blonde hair, and he's white, and he has a blue eye and a green eye. And he just, he has his hands behind his back. He's just like doing a casual stroll around the garden, and he strolls up to the maid, the lady, tending to the garden. and the lady looks up at him, almost. She looks at him very innocently, almost like he is this benign figure to her.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts his hands around her face, looks her dead in her eyes as she stares at him, and says, "You were nothing before, and you will be nothing after. You are not the first, and you are not the last." And then he just crushes her skull. Like he puts his thumbs, he presses his thumbs against her cheeks and just crushes it. She crushes her face,
Mm-hmm.
and she dies. She's dead. And it was very clear that she held no ill feelings towards him. At least before he said that, it was just this look of fear and unawareness, I guess I would say. And from behind him comes a maid that's dressed the exact same way and looks the exact same as her. And when I changed perspective again, the maid is already gone that he killed, and the blood on her and on his hands is gone, and everything is gone. And he walks off, and she begins doing the job that the last maid was doing. And that just disturbed me so much on so many levels. Like, I woke up and I was disturbed, disgusted, and unsettled. It just really put a bad taste in my mouth. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why that one sticks out so particularly to me, but it does. So, yeah, those are that's my most horrific dream and my most disturbing dream. So how about you?
I don't have any disturbing or horrific dreams.
You don't have any scary dreams at all?
Not that I can remember. Like I said, I remember one that gave me like a like I can remember the feeling it gave me and what I did after I woke up, but I don't remember the actual dream.
All right. Um, so I guess now that we're done talking about dreams, or at least the dreams that we've had, it sounds like, or unless you have some more, do you?
No.
All right. Let me ask you this, because I haven't really gone back. I haven't really thought about it that much, but I think that's something we can just talk about real quick, and that is, do you think dreams mean anything?
Yeah.
So, like, what would they mean?
I feel like there's different meanings to your dreams. It depends on the dream you're having. I feel like a lot of emotional dreams are like dreams that you have and then you wake up and it's like, oh, that was, or it gives you some type of emotion after you wake up. I feel like those are pertaining towards some feelings that you're running from, some feelings that you're hiding, some feelings that you need to confront, stuff like that. Like, for example, the dream I had with me cutting my throat twice in a row. I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that was like, you know, meaningful.
Um,
What about you?
um, I'm not really sure dreams have a meaning, I guess I would say. I guess I would say that my dreams are more like a representation of my thoughts or my innermost thoughts and my life at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can remember many times throughout my history of dreaming where my if I really would if I where I could decipher my dream as, what it correlates to historically that I can remember about, the history of myself, I guess I would say. Um, and sometimes I feel like dreams give me like a premonition of what's to come, or at least a prediction.
Hmm.
Like, I talked about this in the last video, or maybe the last video, depending on, when this gets edited and put out there. But I remember my friends, or I guess they were my friends. I was on this abandoned highway with them, and it was my girlfriend at the time, and they were all walking together, and I was trying to, catch up to them because I was behind them, and we were on this highway, and it was like, I don't. It's like, is it dusk where like the sun is finally setting, and it's like orangish and all that?
Yeah.
All right, it was dusk, and there was this city ahead of them, and ahead of me, obviously, and so I'm catching up to them, and all of a sudden, one of my friends just starts performing sexual acts on my girlfriend, and she just does it. She doesn't, think twice about it, and she doesn't seem to mind. And I believe at least she's aware of my presence. I think they're all aware of my presence behind them. And, I thought that was weird, but, if you watched, the video about relationships and all that, it turned out that wasn't so weird.
Hmm.
So, it kind of happened, almost down to the T. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I think maybe dreams may be like a prediction of what may happen, or maybe your innermost thoughts and fears and desires and thought, all that. I'm not sure dreams necessarily mean something in and of themselves, but it's something completely random, like me getting bitten by a tiger and, trying to walk home, and nobody will let me, ride home with them.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I know I looked at least one book where it was talking about what dreams mean and all of that, or like key things in dreams. But it almost feels like it's confirmation bias, where it's like, oh, it could mean that, or oh yeah, that's definitely the case, when you like try to stretch it beyond where it is. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I'm not really sure. I think, dreams are kind of a mystery of themselves. I mean, not even scientists really fully understand dreaming and all of that. Do you think? Well, it's not. It's definitely a yeah, they do. But actually, well, let me just say it. Do you think animals have as vivid dreams as we do?
Mm, do I feel like they're on the same level as our dreams?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they are because I've seen a couple recordings of dogs having quote unquote nightmares and things like that, and they get really like scared and you know
They whine
they
and stuff.
represent, huh?
Like they whine and stuff.
Yeah, and then like they squirm or stuff like that. So I think they have like almost almost near the same level of a dreaming experience that we have.
All right. Um, have you ever been trapped in a dream before?
Like to where I couldn't wake up?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Have you?
Yes. On two separate occasions that I can think of off the top of my head. So like I had a dream where I realized I was dreaming, and I decided I just wanted to wake up, and I couldn't. And no matter, and I just had to wait it out, I guess. And
Hmm.
eventually I woke up, but it felt like time had actually passed. You know, like how when you're dreaming, it doesn't time doesn't really move linearly. It kind of just cuts around to the moments you remember and all that.
Hmm.
Well, it didn't really do that with me. I had to like sit there and wait for like a while, like a couple hours, I think, of me just sitting there and waiting to wake up. And then another time I had a dream, or multiple dreams, I guess I would say, where it was like layers of dreaming, where I was like, I had to wake up, and it turns out I'm still dreaming. I had to wake up again, and it turns out I'm still dreaming. I had to wake up again, and it turns out I'm still dreaming. I had to wake up and wake up and wake up and wake up and wake up over 100 times before it turns out I actually woke up.
Mm.
So yeah, um, so yeah, that was that was my dreaming experience. Anything more to say, Asia?
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Yeah, multiple times. Except I've never really had the classical demon show up or anything like that. I kind of just had sleep paralysis in the dark, and I can't move or anything. Well, I can move, and I can look around and stuff. Or at least I remember looking around. But
Hmm.
I would, it essentially, for me to get out of it, what I did at least was I flexed every single I concentrated every single fiber of my being into just moving whatever I could and screaming. And so it was almost like there was this, I was like wearing clothes that were like 1,000 pounds. And so it was like I couldn't move, and I just had to move as hard as I could, and scream. And eventually, I broke out of the sleep paralysis.
Hmm.
I had to calm myself down, and I eventually just went back to sleep. But that's happened a couple times. How about you?
I've never had like the paralysis part of it. I've had occasions where I I'm on the brink of going to sleep, but I'm aware that I'm awake and I'm going to sleep.
Uh huh.
And one time I was facing my wall. Actually, I was facing my door, and I was going to sleep, but I was aware that I was, on the brink of falling asleep. And out of nowhere, I hear like this loud pounding and like these screams, and it shook me awake so bad. Like my heart rate was like so high, like it was crazy. I could feel my heart in my throat because it scared me so bad. And like I'm sitting here on my bed, my eyes wide open because I'm like, what the heck? And then I realized, that was a form of sleep paralysis. I wasn't stuck. Like I could move, you know. But yeah.
You just like your brain was falling asleep before your mind was, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a dream so realistic that you thought it was real?
Um, no, but I have memories where I can't decipher if it actually happened or if it was a dream.
Okay.
You?
I had one. Yeah, I had. It was like I don't know how old I was. I was a lot younger, and I had a dream that my cousins had come to my house, and it was like nighttime, and like they came over during the night. My mom was downstairs greeting them and stuff like that, and they sat down at the table or something like that. And I was like really tired, and I would just say hi to them tomorrow. So I went back to bed and went to sleep. It turns out that was actually a dream, and my cousins never came over. My mom never said hi to anybody at night or anything like that. That was just me dreaming. But everything felt so vivid and so real that I could have swore that that was the case.
Mm.
So I was like asking where my cousins are and all that. Turns out, they weren't there.
Mm.
Have you ever had a dream that you feel like you've shared with somebody?
Like,
Like a shared dream.
mm, no.
Neither have
You,
I. At least not that I can remember off the top of my head. You know, I've definitely had dreams where people acted as they would have if they were dreaming along
mm,
with me, but I wouldn't necessarily say, "Oh yeah, we were definitely mentally connected in this dream" or anything like that. So, I mean, yeah, it's strange. Uh, let's see, what else? I mean, you said you slit your own throat in your dream, but did you die?
no.
Okay, I've died so many times in my dreams. I've died so many times. I've
Mm,
had a lot of horrific things happen to me in my dreams, actually, that are like very real too. So let's see. I've been shot. I've been impaled. I've been run through with a sword. I've been tortured. I've had my limbs broken. I've just died. I don't even know how to describe it except for dying. Uh,
mhm.
I've been raped in my dreams. Um, let's see. What else? I don't know. It's just a lot, a lot of bad things. I
Mhm.
think about it. But I guess a lot of good things too, just dreams where I enact I wouldn't say my most primal desires, but things that I want to do. Like I want to go somewhere with somebody, or I want to meet somebody, or I don't know. Just things like that, where it's like innocently good, you know?
Mhm.
Ever had a dream where you realized you were dreaming?
Yeah, all the time.
And what do you do?
I don't know. It's like a second of it though. It's not like it's continuous. It's not like, oh, I'm aware I'm dreaming and then I'm aware the rest of the time I'm, dreaming or asleep. It's like a
Hmm.
second kind of like become aware that I'm dreaming and then I'm just like, okay, that's cool. And then I just,
Just go about
you
the
know,
dreaming.
yeah, because sometimes the more I concentrate on it, the more I become awake and then I disturb the dreaming process and then I actually wake myself up.
Okay, okay. Do you have a favorite
Sure.
dream?
Right?
What'd you say?
I said I'm pretty sure you have, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a favorite dream?
Uh, the dream that I told you a couple of days ago, the one with the France background and the ocean, my head on his lap.
That's your favorite dream. All
Yes.
right. I don't think that I can't really say I have a favorite dream. One thing I guess I alluded to earlier was the fact that I've had, or I have two dreams, which one is in black and white for some reason,
Hmm.
but these are my two earliest dreams. I mean, age wise, that I can remember, or at least remember snapshots of it. So I guess the first one, chronologically speaking, is the one that was black and white for some reason. And my mom and my little sister, who was still a baby at this time, kind of like a toddler baby, I don't know what you'd call it, but they were both just sitting next to the stairs, like the hallway. I don't know. If you saw the layout of my house, I guess you'd understand. But the entrance between the kitchen and the hallway to the stairs, I guess I would say. And they were just sitting there, and the sun was shining, and it seemed like morning time. And I come downstairs, and I don't know what I did, but I got in trouble for some reason. And so my mom sent me to my room, and that was the end of the dream. I can't remember anything more than that, but it was in black and white. And then the second dream I had was I was Ben 10. I had the Omnitrix. And so, I was going through the different aliens and turning into different aliens and all of that. But I don't remember anything more than that. But yeah, that was pretty cool, I guess. So yeah, I think, yeah. So anything more you'd like to say, Asia?
No.
All right. Well, I don't really think I think I've exhausted all of my dialogue options in this great big dialogue tree that is dreams.
Mhm.
So let's wrap it up. I guess I got to kind of switch modes of talking. So thank you for listening through. If you've all the way listened through or skipping around or whatever to whatever interests you. I hope we're not boring you. I hope we didn't bore you, and I hope this is it's a good episode. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's the strongest episode, but I feel like it's a nice episode that you can listen to while you do things or fall asleep or whatever. Fall asleep. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for 9 subscribers. Thanks for, what was it, 43 views on one of the videos. Um, let's keep growing it. It's only up from here, right? Well, I mean, it's not only up. I mean, I guess we could go down, but like, I don't think we are. Thanks for listening to Mars Talks. Thank you, my co-host Asia, for taking some time out of your day to be on this podcast, even though you don't have to. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. We got to end with a new phrase or something new every single time. So do you want to say something, Asia, or do you want me to say it?
You can say it.
Okay. Let me think of something real quick. All right. Try showering with cold water. Not icy cold water, but just cool water that you can tolerate on your skin.
Lukewarm water.
No, not lukewarm, definitely cold,
Oh,
but not too cold.
I shower with lukewarm water, which is almost cold water.
Yeah, I make my water cold. Just sometimes try showering in the dark. That's also pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I think I've said the phrase or phrases for today, or whatever saying. I don't know what it is. Just something to close us off. Thank you for stopping by, as I've said for probably the 500th time, and this is the end of the video. Boop boop.